Hey YouTubers, family, friends, my people. Hope you guys are having a great day. This video terrifies me. Let's be real. This is something that I have struggled with my whole life. It's a very sensitive, vulnerable subject. I would say if the non-physical scares you in any way, if you are extremely sensitive and you are in a stage as being an empath where you're highly vulnerable and sensitive to your surroundings, I would say probably don't watch this video. The things that I'm going to talk about in this video are definitely heavier. They can be scary. I would probably not have wanted to listen to this video for probably a big portion of my life. So this is kind of like an R-rated before you get into it, if I really want to watch this. So I would say absolutely at any point during this video, if I say anything that makes you uncomfortable, just turn it off. Don't listen to it. The whole goal of this video is to bring awareness. Bring awareness to the non-physical of what's going on around us, within our loved ones, and within our environment on a daily basis. So there is purpose to this video, to bring awareness, to bring healing, to understand that we are not victims of our environment, that we are powerful beings of light, and it is through that that we heal ourselves, we heal everything, right? So first things first, right? There is no opposite to this. There is no opposite to love. There is nothing more powerful than love. Creation light is high vibration. It is highest vibration. Light, white light, blinding light, hot, fine energy, right? What is negative energy? Negative energy is dense. Negative energy is heavy. Negative energy is dark and gross and smells like dank. It is really, really gross energy. Now with that, in our contrasting experience, we have opposites. We have as something as light as something is, as something as dense as negative as something is, right? So physically, emotionally, and mentally in this physical experience, there is going to be a perfect and equal exact opposite to everything that we are living, to everything that we are experiencing. So when people talk about angels and higher guides and higher vibration, there is going to be an opposite to that. There is going to be an opposite to that. That is very gross, and we are going to go into it. We're going to go into it today. We're going to go into it in this video. I'm going to try and keep this video shorter, straight to the point, because this is something that is very serious, but also, you know, it's for us to learn and grow. So most important thing. So to the layers of what our experience is, physical, emotional, and mental, there is an equal and exact opposite of contrasting in this experience and this physical experience that we have here on Earth, right? It's like our little Earth compact energetic field. Outside of actually the ozone layer, absolutely. Ozone, within our ozone, that is what we have going on. Now, outside of that, opposite to that, spiritually speaking, there is no opposite to creator. This light that is within us, there is no opposite to that. That is pure love and light. And so what I would say is, if you are ever having an experience of something that is more negative, something that could be seen as more demonic, truth is there is no opposite to this love and light. Calling in that love and light, really calling in God itself, God, creator, source. Imagine that light coming out of your chest will absolutely take care of business. It's going to bring you back into that energy. So we are vessels. Our bodies are vessels. So since birth, depending on how sensitive we are, we can have energy come within us. I read again years ago that 75 to 80% of us can have physical attachments at one point in our life or another. I found that really hard to believe. I didn't believe that, but to be honest with you, doing the line of work that I do, I would probably say that number is closer to 95. Depending on how old you are, 100. I would say 100% of us throughout our lifetime at some point or another. 100's heavy. 90, how about we say 99? Let's say 99, since we can't say absolutely for certain that, you know, not everybody has had an attachment at one point in their life. How do attachments come in? Attachments come in through trauma, right? So when we go through something traumatic, when we're younger, feelings of abandonment, mistrust, abuse, attachments come in. the loss of loved ones and experiencing that traumatic heartbreak, that attachments can come in. Abandonment, loneliness, accidents, car accidents, surgery, physical surgery that you have in a hospital, attachments can come in. What are attachments, right? What are attachments? Well, attachments could be your grandma. An attachment could be a spouse. An attachment could be a loved one. An attachment can be any form of physical energy that is in this non-physical energy. Did you guys get that? So non-physically speaking, 96% of our experience is non-physical. So within that, we can have non-physical energy that has its own thought form within our bodies, because technically speaking, even our bodies are just energy. But what happens is, I can use a prime example. So a child is going through a home life that there's a lot of abandonment. The parents aren't around, the child feels alone. The child has a scary experience happen. The child goes into its room and it's playing by itself. Now in this house, somebody has passed away. They see this child wanting help. This person also has had some form of experience where they had sadness and abandonment, and that's why they're in the house still in the first place. That's why they haven't moved back up into creation, which is a totally another video. That they are here to help this child, right? They're saying, oh, hey, I'm going to help you not feel lonely anymore. I'm going to help you not feel scared anymore. And that's what they do. They attach with this child. They attach with this energy, and they could be with them the rest of their lives. I have clients sit in front of me daily. I pull attachments out of people almost every single day that I am working. And if I'm not pulling them out of the client themselves, then I can see where there are attachments and loved ones that they have. Should this scare you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. You know, we can have a multitude, just personally speaking, and I don't want to freak you guys out or anything, but I've probably had up to 30 attachments in me in the last 15 years of my life that I've been pulling out of me. The last 6 of them have been very heavy, and I would say within the last year. So attachments can be within us. Why is my number so high? Well, I'm a clear and perfect channel, right? If I'm a clear and perfect channel for creation, you better believe I've been a clear and perfect channel my whole life. And thus through trauma, I've picked up a plethora of energies along the way. I would also say that, this is so personal, but when we have within us the will to live is very low. When the will to live is very low, the fight for life is very low or not present, that really allows energies to come in and go as they please. So if you have experienced that kind of energy, that would probably be a session. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but I would say get a hold of me. Let's talk about it. Let's go over what kind of energy is hanging out within you to make you feel like the will of life is almost non-existent or is very, very low, right? That's session worthy for sure. So with that, people have attachments in them, and these attachments come in to help us. They feel like they're helping us. So just like what we were talking about earlier with that child having that older energy in them, that older energy is going to stay in that and stay in them because they feel like they're helping them. They feel like they're supporting them. But that could have a number of things. And these are just examples, right? These are just going to be examples. Some of my clients have attachments in them that have brought out health issues, right? So if you're somebody who has had a plethora of health issues throughout your life, autoimmune, maybe aches and pains, and there's no source to that, then that's where we need to look at that. Maybe you have energy hanging out inside of you that needs to come out when you are reactive. So if somebody has trigger words for you, or you feel like your energy is being pushed on and then all of a sudden you're reacting, absolutely. Great example. Say that you're arguing with your spouse, and then afterwards you feel totally drained and you don't know why you're reacting the way that you are. You need to look at that, right? Maybe you have an energy hanging out inside of you that needs to be gone. This is a very heavy video, and you need to use a lot of discernment, because you could have trauma that you need to work through, and it doesn't necessarily mean that there's an attachment on you. But with loved ones is a big one, you guys. And maybe that's why we're making the video today. Maybe that's the whole purpose of this video, is to talk to you about expression and loved ones. You know, attachments can so easily come in under substance when people are using substance abuse, any form of that, you know, too much, and they kind of hit that limit. And you would know because say we're just going to use a spouse an example. Your spouse is fine, and then they hit this limit when it comes to maybe drinking or smoking, and it's like something happens with their eyes, right? All of a sudden you're looking at them and it feels like it's not them. Well, it's probably not them. It's probably not them. Our souls cannot handle toxicity. And so if somebody is of substance, drinking of substance, not to say that you can't have a glass of wine or have a beer and you're going to be just fine, or maybe even a couple. You get a good buzz going, that's great. But you all know who you are. When you're drinking, you hit that point, you hit that limit, and then it's kind of like lights out. That's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about, is when you hit that limit where you know you've had one too many, that's a form of trouble. Now, attachments don't necessarily have to be people. There are many forms of attachments, and those are energies and creatures. This again is going to make me sound like a crazy person, but I can only tell you that through experience, this is what I've seen, not just with my physical eye, but with my third eye as well. There are many creatures of earth, right? And so we see things like gargoyles or little trolls, any energy that is not human, but they are very real. A lot of these energies kind of feed off of the fun. They feed off of the excitement of people who party, people who drink. Free will is always important here. So if you have any form of attachment, or you feel like this is speaking to you in any term at all, it's so important to understand that you can claim your power back at any time. Noticing the difference, absolutely. So we're gonna wrap it up here. I might make another video about this, but I feel like short and simple is gonna be good right now, just to kind of get you guys in this energy. So first, what they want you to do is identify the trigger, right? So if you notice right away, you're like, oh yeah, I'm fine until this happens, and then it feels weird. Or I feel like I have things visiting me at night, and that doesn't make me feel good. Or there's a plethora. There's really a plethora here. You're going to have to use discernment. But what I would say is, first, recognizing that within you of where you feel limited, right? Whether you're being held into a relationship that you shouldn't be in, is that energy that you hold within you. Recognize where it is, right? So is it something that's in your heart? Is it something that's in your mind? Is it a fear? Is it something in your stomach? Identifying with it, seeing if you can feel a difference. For me, a lot of times when I've had attachments leave, I can usually physically feel a difference, like the energy is cooler. Remember, we talked about with energy. Dense energy, negative energy is cold, sticky, thick, darker, right? So if you have that kind of energy hanging out around you, that's what you want to push off of. You can feel it, just identify with it as this attachment, and then allow it to be gone, right? So you feel it, identify with it, and say, okay, I no longer need you. I'm okay. I'm okay. Over the last few years when I've been getting rid of attachments, I've always wished well with love and gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I no longer need you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I no longer need you. When I've pulled attachments off of clients, I can also tell you that sometimes they don't want to go, or they're going to come back. And I would let my client know, hey, we pulled this energy off of you, but they feel like you still need them. And so this is going to be something for you to work through to be able, and you can tell when attachments get off of you and they start to come back, it's those old feelings of insecurities, of fears, anxieties, anger, frustration, all of those lower vibrations could very well be part of some type of energy that's holding on to you. They feel like they're serving you for their highest good or for your highest good, and they're not. I would always recommend too, trying to connect them to creation light. Again, using our imagination, visualizing that beautiful white light from above, coming down into that energy, into that area, and allowing them to be gone, letting them know it is safe to move on. It is safe to be okay in that space of light, and that's really where they need to go. It's half and half. Sometimes the light is welcoming. Sometimes the energies will leave. Other times they're saying, nope, not doing it, not going. I think I told you guys in another video, I lost a really close loved one last year, and it was fantastic. Not fantastic that he's passed, because I would always wish that he was here physically, but after he passed, I got to see him a lot more. And so it was a few months after he had already passed that I noticed he hadn't moved up into creation yet. So I was like, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? You're still hanging out. It's time for you to move up. Because once a spirit moves up, they can always come back down. They can always come back down and visit. He was not ready to go. He took off on me. He's like, oh, no, don't show me the light. I already know where the light is. I'm going when I'm ready. And so with that, and he's moved on now. And he comes back often. But we definitely got to connect him with the light, when he was ready to go. So with that, I hope this video was helpful and not too scary. We could have gone much deeper into it, and we probably will in other videos, but I hope that this gives you a little idea that our energy, lower vibrations, things like that we have within us, reactive states, feelings of fight or flight, we need to look at that. Where is that coming from? Does that belong to us, or is that something that we have within us that needs to be released? Identifying with it. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.